Going live now in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You're not audible to me.
Ma'am, am I audible now? Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another episode of CampusCare EdTalks, a platform so exclusive where the stalwarts of education come on board to express their viewpoints on burning topics curbing the education fraternity. Before I begin, let me quickly introduce you to Entab. We are a 20-year-old IT company engaged in providing school management systems, ERP, CRM, and mobile apps to the various schools spread across India and transform them from good schools to the best ones. Today in Campus Career Talks, we will ponder with our guest speakers to find out whether innovation and creativity can brace the implementation of quality education. That's right, making quality education affordable and accessible through innovative solutions. On the other hand, we are also well aware that in India, education is still an elusive theory and concept for many. Regardless, there are very reforms and many organizations who are constantly putting in their best abilities to provide affordable and quality education for the underprivileged. Let's find out more by indulging ahead in today's webinar. So, our first guest of the day is the principal of Jain Bharati Mrigyavati Vidyalaya. Ma'am is the chairperson of Forum of Public Schools, Delhi NCR. Over the long years of hard work and dedication, Ma'am has won several awards and recognition. In the year 2017, Ma'am was recognized with the IMA Distinguished Service Award in the field of education on Teachers' Day. At present, Ma'am is catering 40 villages in and around Delhi with emphasis on spiritual, intellectual, physical, social, and cultural growth of students. Please welcome Anupma Bhardwaj, ma'am. Welcome, Anupama, ma'am.
Thank you so much. And first and foremost, namaskar to all of you. We have the culture of always wishing everyone with namaskar. As you have already expressed, I'm heading the Jain Bharati Mrigavati Vidyalaya. It is in the Vallabh Smarak complex, because recently this complex was in news when our Honorable Prime Minister, unveiled the statue of peace, at Jaitpura, Bali, uh, in the name of Guru Vallabh, because Gujarat has given two Vallabhs. One is the Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, another is the Guru. He was a spiritual leader. He worked for the upliftment of the society, and moreover, ours is a minority school, and we are catering the 40 villages in and around Delhi. And we are emphasizing on Sanskar Sambardhan. This is the core area. Because see, because you are talking about the affordable quality education, we need to understand. Do I have the 2 minutes?
Ma'am, I will come back to you after I
Okay,
introduce
okay, okay,
everyone.
okay,
Don't
okay. This
worry.
is over. Okay, thank you so much. Thank
No
you.
problem, ma'am. And namaskar as well. All
Yes,
right.
yes.
So the next principal is the principal of Unicent International School, Kondapur, Hyderabad. Ma'am has devoted 30 years in the field of education, 14 years as principals in various institutions. Ma'am has contributed her knowledge and expertise in various states of India, like Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, West Bengal, Telangana, and so on and so forth. Ma'am personally takes the responsibility to conduct teachers' empowerment programs for her staff. Owing to her remarkable contribution, Ma'am received an award for the best community worker from the then President Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Please welcome Kameshwari Eleswarapu, ma'am. Kameshwari, ma'am, welcome.
Namaste to everyone. Thank you very much. Indeed, pleasure to meet you all, the educationists from various parts of this country. And I believe man making is nation building. We are all here, we are making men. We are making the child to learn something from our end and to make him a good citizen of this country. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Next, we have is a lady with a professional experience of 26 years in the field of education. She's the recipient of various accolades and recognition. Over the years, she received the Best Principal Award received from Mr. Shiva Sethi in 2018. Ma'am has sincerely organized several workshops for the upliftment of education fraternity. She is a keen motivator and the principal of Foxwood Public School, Kandivali. Please welcome Jyotsna Robert, ma'am. Welcome on board, ma'am.
Namaste and good afternoon, everyone.
Namaste, ma'am. And last but not the least, we have the managing director of Nosegay Public School, Sriganganagar, Rajasthan. Sir is a dedicated professional educator. Over the year, he has contributed effortlessly for the welfare of the students and education fraternity. He is the recipient of various awards and accolades. Please welcome Dr. S Suden. Welcome, Dr. Sir.
Namaskar, everyone.
Namaste, Dr. Sir. Thank you so much for coming on board. All the lovely educators with so much vast experience. I'm sure I'll be, I'm honored first of all, and then I'll have a lot of insights from your vast experience. By the way, before I begin, let me quickly introduce myself as well. My name is Himanshu. I'm the head of marketing at Entab. So it is indeed a pleasure to host you here. All right. So without further ado, let's quickly begin our webinar. But before we go there, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. All right. So let's go to Anupama ma'am. Anupama ma'am, namaskar first of all, and I would
Namaskar,
like to
dear
know,
Navesh.
ma'am, I would like to know. We the topic is since it's quality education and everything. What makes a good quality education, and why is access to quality education so important?
See, the quality education means this. Of course, it is very important, because we need to evolve, and we can only evolve when we are nurturing and certain qualities in ourselves. But at the same time, we need not to forget, that we are being born divine, the quality is already within us, okay, that we need to nurture regularly, and because it is a question of that I'm not the mind, as the Sadhguru says, I'm not the mind, I'm not the body, I'm the spirit, okay, and it is always full of love, compassion and peace. And when you are nurturing in every human being these three qualities, okay, but unfortunately, we are going outside, we are not going within ourselves in order to be the better, as ma'am said, Kameshwari ma'am, that we are nurturing, certain qualities in order to, so that the kids can be the better human beings or the global citizens. So, this is how I feel that spiritual education is a part of education, हमें उसको अलग नहीं लेना है. So it is a blending of practical education with the spirituality. But spirituality should be at the top. Only then we will be the divine beings and love beings here. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Anupama ma'am. Kameshwari ma'am, what are your viewpoint on quality education?
So, my previous speaker, Ms. Anupama, spoken very well about quality. Even what I feel, quality means enhancement of thought process, which lead to the success. Success, as she said, emotional success, physical success, as well as strengthen the body, mind, and soul. And what I feel is education is a tool for the betterment of humanity. Quality education, it includes ethics, norms, values, manners, also develop skills to lead a beautiful life. And to make the root level or the grassroots level of the economy to means to come up. For that also, we need quality education for where the child should develop holistically. So, as you said, one should have, what I feel these days, one should have a charming learning capacity, charming learning focus, that I should learn this. And then what I feel, goal setting. Quality education is also we should give. I'm big fan of Dr. Kalam. He says goal setting. Everyone should have a goal. Low aim is crime. Always they should have a big aim. They should have a high aim. So we should nowadays we all talk about mind mapping, brain mapping. So in this, what I say is it is we live in our mind where it is unlimited. It is very truly said, and I believe in this. And we have to train the young mind to nurture.
Right.
Thank you.
Uh, Dr. Suden, what about you?
I believe we should prepare individuals, those we have to develop competencies and skills in individuals so that they should be able to face this world successfully. They should be sensitive enough about other issues, problems. They should be able to distinguish between right and wrong. They should be able to take right decisions, and they should be competent enough to lead a nice quality life.
Right. Jyotsna ma'am.
Yeah, to add on, I feel quality education comes with us providing the children the proper infrastructure, the training of the teachers. The faculty should be very competent enough so that children learn from them. And moreover, we need to give freedom to the children to learn. So that kind of environment should be there in the school where the child learns, freely. There's no blockage, or there is no hindrance to the child when it comes to learning. So I can add on with ma'am also, even spirituality. When you talk about spirituality, even spirituality adds on to quality of education. Child becomes more focused. So overall, I think the infrastructure, the teachers need to be trained time on and again, so that the children, uh, their need for learning is very vast. Nowadays, they are exposed to everything. You talk about technology, so technology gets advanced every day. There is advancement in technology. So even the teachers need to be updated, and we need to give that kind of training to the teachers too. When you speak about quality in education,
Right.
yes.
Wonderful point over there, ma'am, Jyotsna ma'am. Uh, when we talk about quality education, we need to keep in mind that technology also plays an important factor to it. And it is absolutely evident during Corona, if technology wouldn't have been there, then it's pretty. I mean, I don't think so. There should be any doubt that the learning would have stopped altogether just because the schools got shut down. The physical schools got shut down. However, due to technology, the learning did stop. So, are there any tools and or maybe certain technologies which a school must adopt? That is absolutely imperative, the bare minimum, in order to achieve a quality education. Kameshwari, ma'am.
Yes. So what I feel, technology, pardon me, just I was watching one of the important message. Please, can you repeat the question?
Ma'am, what I asked was, what I wanted to know was, is there any basic tool or technological aspect, or maybe technology that a school must adopt, bare minimum, to provide a quality education?
Yes, they should have minimum tool where the child can learn something from the school. Like we have uses now, we are using Google platform. Some schools are using Microsoft. Along with that, we are Microsoft this tools. So some schools are also using some other platforms. So these platforms are very, very important. As well, each school should have a good internet facility, Wi-Fi facility, a good computer lab. Even nowadays, we can also use Chromebooks if we can. Otherwise, this type of platforms are required, and the teacher should be empowered. Like they should use some of the tools like quizzes, Kahoot. They can use Khan Academy to empower, and many more things are coming up in this field. So people, teachers, first the faculty should develop themselves. They should empower. And I have seen in this scenario all the parents, student, and faculty. All the three, they have done a beautiful job, that is collaborative learning, where they have helped the kids at home to learn more and more.
Right. Anupama ma'am, what about you?
Yes, technology is, as I told earlier also, that blending is required here. At technology, we should be really grateful those who are contributing and brought this platform. There are n number of platforms available to teachers right now, and during this particular period when the unprecedented time, and we have learned a lot, so teachers are doing great on their part. So technology, yes, we need to. It's not that how long we'll go and say, this is bad and this is a. Everything is, correct, and we need to do the blending as long as we are using it as a tool. It is absolutely okay, and we need to take the help of technology.
Wonderful.
Technology is required without fail.
Wonderful. Doctor sir?
In our time, there was a very limited sources of education, but now, fortunately, we have a lot of sources, and our children are much more exposed than us. And it's great that they are the Google like, and there are so many other sources of information to them. And we should definitely encourage children. And now everything is so accessible. There is a great exposure to them, and naturally, the schools should concentrate more and more tapping these sources. So we have made such places in school where children they have direct access to different types of digital platforms, and they are really enjoying and enriching them. So new and new tools are now available, and we should definitely first assess them, and they should be made available to children. And it's a great exposure now. Even teachers are sometimes fail to match their students because they are now directly they have a lot of source of knowledge available to them. So it's a great time for all of us, and we should, with open mind, we should welcome, and we should keep, exposure should be there. We should not restrict children, and sometimes because of our old mindset, we sometimes try to restrict them. And actually, this COVID situation helped us, and children really got wonderful exposure during these past months. This is this silver lining of this uh, COVID situation. This is the plus point of the COVID situation, that now when the schools are opening, children will be better. We will find them better than previous time.
I'm sure, sir. What about you, Jyotsna ma'am?
See, what I feel is children learn with different methods. It can be visual, it can be video, it can be hands-on learning. So everything includes when you talk about education and especially in school. we are catering to children. So we have to see their needs, what is their requirement. So, based on that, we need to, have that kind of technology in our school. Yes, technology is important.
All right. So now, when we're talking about the technology is important and quality education and everything. Now, how about I'm sure as a leader of the school, you also might have adopted various methods and various tools and technologies. So, if let's start with Anupama ma'am. Anupama ma'am, what are the various strategies or maybe technologies or maybe tools, whatever you want to call them, you have adopted as a leader of the school to ensure quality education?
Yes, yes, yes. So the number of tools we have adopted, like, initially when the lockdown was announced, earlier also we were doing, but the moment when the lockdown was announced, so we did a lot of work, the flip learning, then Kahoot, so many tools, MS Team, then of course there are so many other tools are also there, so we are using it, and moreover, the kids are also enjoying so much. That is the best part. That is the best way.
Right. What about you, Kameshwari ma'am? What tools have you adopted as a leader of the school?
First of all, when all of a sudden the school was shut, I thought because before that only our academic head and we went for a training. So I have just gone for the Google Classroom training. Then I thought it, how long, how much we are going to use it. But again, suddenly the shift
Right.
from offline to total online. Then we thought of, then we had our own training session. 1 week's training session had been given to the teachers, and all the teachers are so well versed in Google Classroom, using quizzes, using Kahoot, using Khan Academy videos, making videos using Hippo, and all these things have done. It's a shift. There is a paradigm shift has been done in a very short course of time. So I feel now I feel blended learning, as somebody said, blended learning. And if you see the changing pedagogy, we need many other tools we are working on, and maybe probably in due course of time we will be using.
Right, ma'am. Dr. Suden?
Uh, and when the lockdown actually started, I was in US, and I got call from my school that now we are facing this problem, how to solve it. Then I suggested them you just immediately switch to online classes, and because they were quite common there, my nephew they were already enjoying those classes there. So I suggested them they started with WhatsApp and YouTube, etc. And then gradually it developed. I saw that the children also learned so fast, and teachers also they picked up so fast, and within few days they then became almost trained in providing online classes. And now the classes are so powerful that even if they don't mind, if they maybe when we started school, though even children they sometimes say that the online classes are also equally good, but we cannot conduct co-curricular activities and other activities which are so essential for the child development. So naturally, now campus classes we are starting gradually, but it was a wonderful experience that within very short time we developed so many powerful tools, and initially we started with cameras and all that. Now all the teachers they are now well trained to provide classes, live classes through Google Classroom, Google. Naturally, it was a that disaster, COVID disaster, gave us a great time for learning also, learning new tools. So now I think all these schools they are quite now well equipped and well trained for facing such situations. And naturally, students and teachers both are enriched during this time.
Right. Jyotsna, ma'am?
all of us will agree that with this pandemic, we have understood one thing that we have to foresee. The we have to see the unseen.
Yeah.
So in my school, we had regular training of teachers. You talk about technology. So with this pandemic, my teachers were already, they knew how to, use the tools which were available for online classes. So it was little bit easier for us.
To relate to.
Uh, as you as you're asking me, other than what other things we have done in school, when you're talking about, I think you're talking about creativity
Yeah.
and you're talking about innovation. So like in my school, we have all hands-on learning. Like for example, we are not only focused with academics. Like every child is not good in academics. So we have overall development in our school. For example, we have created a sports division. You know, in sports division, it's the children who are interested in various sports activity. They we cater to those children. So we have a separate timetable set for them where they can have their interest in sports so they don't miss on their class. So it's a very different way of having these children included in mainstream schooling. So it's not only innovation, but the other things also we cater to. Yes, but one thing is here also we can use technology in sports in a different way. So everywhere when you talk about, technology does work.
Right. That comes to another very important insight. So, technology and quality education, of course, they go hand in hand. But how do we know that the technology that we have adopted is actually working towards providing a quality education until and unless we are unable to have a proper tool for assessment, or maybe, we can analyze the entire thing. So, Anupama ma'am, do you have some sort of assessment platform, or maybe some sort of assessment tools wherein you can assess that, yeah, these are the parameters that I need to fulfill as an educator?
Yes, yes, of course, See, before I answer your questions, I would like to recite a few lines of one ghazal, and that will rather give the answer to your question. That is, that all of us need to work on ourselves and we need to go in that growth mindset.
Hmm.
उसमें उर्दू की एक गजल है, उसकी कुछ लाइनें हैं बहुत अच्छी हैं, कहते हैं जिन्हें बारे हस्ती उठाना नहीं है, जिन्हें बारे हस्ती उठाना नहीं है ये उनका जमाना नहीं है.
Wow.
So we need to come forward, and on that, as ma'am said, that the blending is required. We need to adopt, we need to go for that. नहीं है ये उनका जमाना नहीं है जिन्हें बारी हस्ती उठाना नहीं है. नए गीत गाओ, नए साज छेड़ो, नए गीत गाओ, नए साज छेड़ो, ये साजे कुहन का जमाना नहीं है. साजे कुहन means we need not to go in that blame game. Need to come forward, have that experience of new things. So many people are working, day and night to provide the solutions. But as you said, that how to do the assessment in that way, that is very important. For that, nothing is, so far difficult, as long as you are strong from inside. So that all you can take the help of the technology, plus you need to, as a teacher, you need to be a keen observer. A teacher is always having a third eye. Suppose you are taking the help of the technology and students are doing it, the teacher is there. That is why the blending is required. It's not always online. Right now we are doing online. But when the situation will be normal, this is new normal. Of course, it will be a blending. For assessment, we take the help of the technology as well as the observation skills also we need to enhance. Because teachers observation is very, I think, authentic, I would say it is authentic. And the technology also, because it has become so affordable these days. Okay, it has reduced the cost also so far. So many things. There are so many advantages of the technology. But at the same time, we need to be keen observer to assess the kids in a very, very open manner. We need to open ourselves. We need to go in a growth mindset. That's what I feel with regard to the assessment. Thank you.
What about you, Dr. B.S. Sudan?
Hello.
You are
Yes.
right, sir. We really faced a problem in assessment. Though teaching is very easy um, I mean, Google Classroom and Microsoft Teams. But assessment, we really faced some practical difficulties. We had to trust the students. We had to encourage them that they should be giving us the proper uh, their when we conducted some assessments, we had to trust on them, and then we changed some examination pattern. We just tried to make it like open book system type examination. So naturally, we had to change some pattern of question papers so that we could really evaluate the students back after teaching, after taking online classes. So we tried that, and we found that especially most of the 90% students, they truly attempted question papers at home. They sent us the answer sheets through PDF files, and we could able to assess their real learning. So we tried, but we are not 100% satisfied with the assessment part of the students is concerned.
Okay, Dr. Sudan. No problem. Maybe Entab can help you out in that. All
So
right.
nice of you.
Jyotsna ma'am, what about you?
Yeah, we had our own way of assessing the children since our board had not permitted us to take any assessment of the children. So it was, online teaching both ways. The teacher was trying to assess the child as she was teaching online. And sometimes it happened that she would take group of children and then assess the children. So it was that way. So we didn't have any kind of test or something like that for the children.
All right. Kameshwari ma'am, what about you?
Sir, in this we have done good job. So children first we have used Google Forms for objectives, and we have subject enrichment activities. So children have done wonderful job, and we have also given them cross curricular projects. We have rubrics for all these things, and we do have even inquiry projects, and then we have a pen paper test. And in that pen paper test also we have included graphic organizers in that, so that concept mappings have been included in that. So children have come up well, and they have done well.
Wonderful, ma'am. Wonderful. All right. Moving forward, I'm sure there must be a lot of barriers in providing quality education to students. Uh, and समटाइम्स आई नो एज अ स्कूल लीडर और ये होता भी होगा आप सबके साथ होता होगा आप लोग कुछ बहुत रैडिकल इम्प्लीमेंट करना चाहते होंगे मगर पेरेंट्स की साइड से कभी प्रॉब्लम आ जाएगी या कभी सरकार की साइड से कोई प्रॉब्लम आ जाएगी सो ऐसे छोटे छोटे इंसिडेंसेस or maybe some big incidents you would like to mention. Do you face these incidents on a daily basis or on a regular basis? Some of the few hurdles or challenges you would like to share with us, that would be great. Starting with Anupama ma'am.
Yes, 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 because see, the life is like that only. Daily you come across situations where there are there will be there. So, see, it is happening everywhere. So, I think, sometimes, even the parents says, when we were doing the assessment, see, you need to, sometimes the teachers are coming to and discussing, ma'am, this is not possible. The kids are cheating and all, what to do, how to do I said, you need to have faith in kids. This is a very different kind of situation. So please, and try to talk to kids and parents on regular basis. But बहुत बारी ऐसा होता है कि जब the parents are coming and complaining that like that this is not happening, एक तो सबसे ज्यादा जो प्रॉब्लम आया है वो I think all of us are aware of that with regard to the screen time, that parents are always after us, please ma'am, reduce the screen time. Then we had a number of this session with the experts, that as long as you are using the technology, in a righteous way, even you can take care of your eyes and all. पेरेंट्स का बार बार कहना था बहुत टाइम तक स्क्रीन पे रहता है, बच्चे क्या कर रहे हैं क्या नहीं कर रहे, इस तरह की हमको दिक्कत आ रही है. सो आई थिंक देन द रेगुलर इंटरेक्शन, रेगुलर कम्युनिकेशन, मैं ये नहीं कहूंगी दैट आई वाज एबल टू सॉल्व ऑल प्रॉब्लम्स, ऑफ कोर्स नॉट, but at least problems are there, but we are trying our level best to resolve these issues, as far as the assessment is concerned, teaching is concerned, then submission of assignment is concerned, then programs are concerned, then of course there are issues here, there are issues.
Right, ma'am. Right. What about you, Dr. P.S. Suden?
I just feel I got chance to see education system of many countries, European countries, American countries, Australia, Japan, Korea. I have almost visited many prestigious institutes of the world, Finland. And what I found here in India, the learning is not very natural.
Right.
Here, things are so much controlled, parameters are so strict. So here we are just killing the natural learning of children.
Yes.
They are not given the learning as per their inclinations, as per their aptitude. And here everything is just so much controlled. And secondly, I find that even syllabi, they don't match to their age level, and they want to learn something else. We force them to learn something different. So here, unless we make learning natural, they will not enjoy it, and we are not expected to get best results. So unless first of all we should know that children's real liking, real interest, and then naturally we should promote learning as per their interest. But here parents, they don't allow you, and they definitely create hurdles. And even sometimes they are forced to learn things which in that particular age are that's not required at that present. Unless a child will not feel the utility of learning, then child will not take interest. So we have to generate, we have to educate the child, we have to make the child realize that this is required for you here. Then the child will start taking interest. So I think we should make schools more natural, like in West, and child should be given a rich learning ambience, and then child should be left to pick up his own field, and the teachers, they should only see that what's the potential of that child, and what are the inclinations of that child, what are the aptitudes of that child. So accordingly, the child should be promoted.
Right. What about you, Kameshwari, ma'am?
Yes, you said barriers and hitches are part of leadership. So, especially if you see, means I've seen 3 decades and three different, not three, if you say 6 different variety of students and parents. So, if you say way back, the parents were much focused on my child should get good marks, as well as the management. They used to say yes, they should get a good marks and our school's name should come up.
Right.
Now the phase has been changed. All the parents want my child should be holistically developed. He should be intense in all the subjects, and my child should be involved everywhere.
Everywhere.
So this is the one barrier where all the parents they want this as a community. Most of the parents, but I have seen there are certain shifts also. Some of the parents now they are not that focused. They say, whatever my child likes, you just focus on that. So these are the small barriers, as I say, as ma'am said and even sir said, that there are things which are changing, and now we are coming where we are giving the children to means go with real life situations. So barriers are part and parcel of our life, and we are coping up with that. Sometimes stressed, sometimes come up with many solutions, sometimes struggle.
Right. What about you, Jyotsna, ma'am?
See, as we all are talking about barriers, I think one thing as educationists we need to know that these barriers can be handled. Like in our school, we have a very good counseling department and even the teachers. So we have one-to-one interaction with the parents. So whenever the parent feels, there's some kind of a barrier or we call them and then it's clear. Of course, we have a large number of children in our school, but it's the way we work with the parents and the children. We of course, there are a lot of barriers, but we try to overcome them and we try to have a solution for them, and it's like I feel it's two way, the parent and the teachers, the school, and as stakeholders, we need to have proper interaction with them and clear whatever the misunderstandings or the barrier is there. We need to have an open door policy where the parents have access to the teachers, to the principal, to the management, and it works wonderfully. And if you're talking about barrier, now recently we had during the pandemic
Right.
when the online classes were going on, the main barrier was the children not having internet connection. Even the teachers, a lot of times there are faulty internet connection, and then the child couldn't attend the class, or the teacher couldn't take the class. So during the pandemic, this was the barrier which we faced as educationists. I think all of us will agree to this.
Absolutely.
Uh,
Uh,
just a minute, I would like to add on here something,
yes,
because
Anupama
you
ma'am.
are asking all of us about the barriers. So when it comes to barrier, for me, the parents are barriers, and parents are thinking the teachers and principal is a barrier. Are you getting my point?
Yes, ma'am.
Otherwise, actually, this is not a barrier. This is everybody is thinking differently. What we need to do in education, as Sir told, that learning has to take place in a very natural way, and we need to keep on enhancing our boundaries of perception. We need to enhance our boundaries of perception. So when you are thinking in a bigger perspective, then वो barrier नहीं रहता है.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. So, from Namaskar to breaking barriers, this was quite an interesting session, to be very honest. Thank you so much, everybody, for giving me your personal time. I know we promised 30 minutes, but it's been more than 40 to 45 minutes that since we are in the conversation. Thank you, Dr. Suden sir. Thank you, Kameshwari
Thank
ma'am.
you.
Thank you, Anupama ma'am. Thank you, Jyotsna
Thanks a
ma'am.
lot.
Thanks a lot
Thank you,
for
Ola.
giving us your valuable time. Entab will always be, honored about that. And to all those viewers who are watching, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Thank you. Have a
We
nice
are
day.
really thankful to you.
Thankful to
Thank
you,
you, all
and
of you. Thank you, Kameshwari ma'am, Joseph. Good to see you all,
Thank
Dr.
you. Thank
Suden.
you.
you all,
I
and
think
thank
good
you.
to see all of you. Thank you so much. God bless us
Thank
all
you.
to become the best version of ourselves.
Yes.
Thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
you. So
Thank you
kind
Thank
of
so
you.
you.
much for the kind words, ma'am.
Thank you.